I suppose I can get started. I suppose. If I seem a little exhausted this stream, it's because I am. I worked 2 graveyard shifts in a row, and I have another one today. And then I have a day off. But then, on Saturday, I go back in. Which is so cool, working on a Saturday. I say that with the full amount of sarcasm I can muster in my own voice at the present time. But I haven't stopped streaming. I got my routine semi reassembled. I picked up the scattered pieces and put them into something new. Better? No. I'll still probably have days or weeks where I just cannot do a stream due to how many Gatorade bottles I've stacked together over the course of the previous days. But I'm gonna draw now. Here I go. Oh, look, there's nothing. Okay. Excuse me. Thank you. It's always a bargaining deal with this freaking streaming software. You never know when it's gonna listen and when it's not. So I've been doing some research into medieval athletic wear again, as it were, and some approximations or modernizations of what it might look like if the sort of trend for medieval fashion was continued. So we're gonna try out some of that. I need this and this. And then I need them to be... What was my point in moving this? I guess it's just easier to have here. I have some tabs open off screen. Now I have to be careful because some of these, pardon me, they say they're Renaissance inspired, and then other ones they say they're steampunk gothic inspired, so I have to make sure I'm looking at the right ones here. This one says medieval Viking, and I don't even know, that's just conflating things at that point. But I'm gonna try my best to use what I know. Now I'm getting like leggings that just have an armor pattern and chainmail printed onto them, and it looks ridiculous. This is some Halloween Party City type stuff. It looks like your cousin who put on the Spider-Man costume and got the one without biceps in it. So it's just a really awkward kind of morph suit with a printed design on it. It doesn't look good. I'll give it, it does not look good. If you're gonna get a superhero costume, you gotta get the one with the fake muscles. Even if you have real muscles, you gotta get the one with the fake muscles. Hold on, I'm just still using my references. Ain't nobody ever said I was a good streamer. I just show up. That's all I have to do. Frick off if you don't like it. This video is titled 100 Best Zelda Songs. I don't know about you guys, but this would not be in my top 100. I feel like I'd get to a lot of Zelda songs before I got to this one. And was like, oh yeah, I'm jamming out to this one in particular. You play this on the aux cord, everyone's gonna just stare at you the whole time. Like, what is this dude doing? Who invited this guy? Okay, I think I've done enough faffing about. Let me check, make sure I'm even on the right window still. Okay, we're good. Where's my mood board? I have one. I know I do. There it is. Okay. Okay, kids. Now. Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. Hold on, I'm just doing I'm having a bit of a think right now. Now this is one I would add to my top 100. It's dramatic, it's moody, it's haunting. It's underutilized in rock music. Just settling on something. Okay. 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 Time to start actually moving the pencil. Time to start moving the pencil. It is time. I've said it and I haven't started doing it yet because I'm renaming the layer first. But any second now, he's gonna start moving that pencil. He's gonna start drawing. The art streamer is going to do art any minute now. Here he goes, and he's doing it. My god, he's actually... Oh, you know what's funny? My drawing tablet actually is having a bit of a giggle right now. It's doing that thing where my pen buttons don't work, so usually a quick reset will fix that. So, yeah, I'll freaking stupid thing I paid for you. You're gonna do what I say, technology. Can't believe this. Again, just like the choice of song here. Top 100. Bro, you gotta check out this Zelda song. Zelda music is so good, then they come out with this, and you're just like, what are you talking about? It's like trying to get someone interested in Metallica and you start playing some of their new stuff. It's just the wrong choice. They have better options. I feel like this would still be even more in the profile. Ow, my arm. 1 second. Okay, and we're done. Excuse me, from studio, thank you. Take your time, Clip Studio. It's not like we got places to be or anything. There's so many places to be. Whoops. What if we try something else? For the top here, I know we just did a whole bunch of work getting this one. Meh. But let's try the other one that I wanted to do. I also don't know if I like this. It's supposed to be the more historically accurate part of it, but... I don't know if I like it. That's why we experiment. Guess we can try blocking in some of the values. See if that does anything. You know, let's actually see if we can see if we can't select something. Well, we've got something of an inside here. How do I invert this selection? I'll have to figure this out. Oh, it's down here. Okay, I was wondering where my menu went. One of the neat parts about character design, I think, is doing as many iterations as you can, because, well, you have to come at it from the point of view, I think, if you want best results, from the point of view where if you're doing iterations, you're using many different sources of inspiration, even if it's just like a whole different mood board. Like if I came back today with a different mood board from all the pictures I'd assembled here, and I took those into account, and I stacked them on top of the basis that I already have here with these designs that I'm working on, then they just become a reflection of even more. The influences just become more indistinguishable from your own work, because at that point, you know, you got the dilution of what you're interpreting and incorporating into your own work. And in that way, the character designs become more multi-layered, in my opinion, and more interesting, provided, of course, that you're still using, you know, a guided decision-making process. And you're not just throwing stuff on willy-nilly. You know, you're thinking about contrast, you're thinking about breaking up the values, you're thinking about the setting in which the outfit or character design is going to be displayed in and representative of. all that stuff. All your typical YouTube tutorial pro tips that I have listened to over the years. Because that's where I get all my information, because the internet, the information age, baby, it's all we have. Use it to your advantage. Do it. If you're not using it, you're wasting your time. I can't tell if the fact that I like my designs just infinitely more after I do the value passes is indicative of the fact that I'm using them as a crutch, or if the design just needs it to come together. Is it just part of the artistic process, or am I again just like... I'm relying on visual contrast through the black and white passes to create the appeal of the design, at least to me. I don't know. I think it's hard to say. The kind of thing you need second opinions for. Is the design good? Or am I just dumb? And I can't see it. Are values just that overpowered in art? I know they can make your colors look good. If you just do solid values, your color theory almost doesn't matter. Does the same thing extend to shape language? That would be pretty powerful. I don't know if it's true, but it feels true. Because every time I've been doing one of these character designs, with the exception of maybe the one buried underneath this stuff, a little peeking out there, I do like that one in terms of how the forms came out. But the other ones, I'm just like, I don't even know what I'm doing, man. I feel lost. I'm in a freaking Walmart and I have no idea where my parents went. They left me in the video game aisle. What they don't know is that I actually wanted to be there the whole time anyway. So I don't even care where they went. I'm playing the demo for Super Smash Bros. Brawl again. Did I have to crane my neck up like 70 degrees? In order to see that? 70 is probably an understatement. If we're cranking my neck up, I probably had to, let's see, from like here to, I don't know, man, it might have been straight up 90 to get to those old-timey display. You guys don't even know. Some people, the Zoomers out there, have no idea what video game displays in stores were like. Now they just have big old TVs and everything's chained down. But at relatively eye level, back in the old days, they didn't want you even thinking about stealing the display, so they would elevate the console and the monitor that the game demo was displayed on like 15 or 20 feet off the ground. 20 is probably an exaggeration, but at least like 10 to 15 feet off the ground. And you'd have to look up. I'm gonna say 10. 15 even seems excessive. I think my perception of scale is distorted. That's what I'm learning about myself. But needless to say, those displays were very high off of the ground, and it was very uncomfortable to play a video game in a store in a demo format for more than 5 minutes at a time. And I have no idea to this day why they thought that was going to... What they even thought that was going to do. Is that to, like, keep people from playing? I don't think they had, like, demo software to the extent that we do now. Well, they should for sure did. They have freaking PlayStation demo discs, so it couldn't have been that. But I really don't know. I couldn't tell you. Is it just because the store didn't want you standing around playing the demo in the middle of their aisle for, like, hours at a time, or what? I have no clue. That has since become an outdated practice from what I see, because, like I said, the consoles and displays and everything, they're kind of just at eye level now. Much to the envy of my 10-year-old self's neck. I would have loved some eye level video game displays, but no, I had to play some weird BMX ATV racing game with my head at an angle I could only describe as medically unsafe. I don't... Like, if someone just came up and karate chopped me on the back of the head while I was playing one of those games, even lightly, probably dead instantly, because of how precariously my whole situation was perched. My brainstem was under a lot of tension. Just a quick whoop, I'd collapse. Sack of potatoes in the middle of the Walmart. Clean up an aisle, whatever the heck the video games are in. Now this is brighter for some reason. Why? Why are you brighter? I'm not upset, I'm just confused. I see you designing characteristics for your character. Will become very characteristic. I am indeed. Hello, Mask. Long time no see. Entirely through fault of my own, but I'm getting my schedule back up. My routine back in order. How's it going? I also don't know what I'm doing. I have a selection tool for this exact thing, coloring in this hair. I was on vacation for a week and a lot of homework this week. I feel the work. I myself got a job recently, so I have a lot of work compared to what I was doing but even 10 days ago. Nothing interesting though. I'm stocking shelves like a peasant, but it does give me money, so I'm very much cool with that. Did you get the line art jar for that webcomic? No, I did not. That was a while back. However, I will say the artist and story creator was very cordial about the whole thing. They seem very lovely as a human being, so I have no ill will towards them. I told them that if they ever do reconsider, they can tell me and request my services whenever they wish. I don't know who they picked, but I have been hiring a private investigator, and I've been browsing the term, I don't want to give too much away, but Hitman on Google recently, and we'll just see what happens. We'll see what happens. And then if a spot opens up for one reason or another, you know, could be mine. Could be mine pretty soon. Keep an eye out. Well, that's good. They were very nice, so I wish them the best. Actually, I should actually go to their profile, because their comic, unlike me, they actually had chapters posted. So I could probably see what they're doing, even now. I don't even remember the name of it, though. Something to do with portals or something. Not like Portal 2 portals, but like interdimensional portals or something. Vacation for a week. What was that for? Is that for like a holiday thing, or am I just out of the loop here? I was lucky enough to have Easter off over here because Jesus or something, I don't know, religious holidays that I don't even particularly know much about. There's a freaking rabbit associated with it for some reason. I don't know. America's funny like that. Holy Week, oh, so it extends to you too. You guys got a similar situation. Why did I make your hair so big? I know exactly why, but still, I have to color all this in now. The bad thing is that my school only gives 1 week of vacations. That's more than I got for some vacations. I'm pretty sure my school also only gave like a week for like American Thanksgiving and stuff like that. Christmas, what have you. So my friends in other schools are still free. That's kind of a bummer though. But yeah, if your friends got more weeks off, that I get free. Yeah, that's annoying. I know what it's like being a part of the one school district in your area that just for some reason insists on having more scheduled time for classes than everybody else in the vicinity. My school district was the exact... Everyone else in the other schools around us would be like, yeah, we're off for like another week for just no reason. And then we're just like, what? I have to be in school on Monday. And I've only been out of school for maybe like 3 days. Same thing happened with snow days. We have snow up here a lot. And sometimes the snow is so bad that we have snow days where we just don't go to school because the weather would probably kill anyone driving on the roads. And my school, for some godforsaken reason, even if like half the other schools in the state were closed, would just be like, yeah, no, you're coming in. Freaking survive, idiot. Come on, you can do it. Put up a slippery when wet sign and we're all good. Potential frost on the road. You could just stop being a baby. Risk your life for math class, why don't you? It's like, I don't want to risk my life for math class. Dude, I don't even like geometry. It was the least infuriating of the math classes compared to stuff like freaking calculus and algebra, but I still don't like geometry. When am I going to need to rotate a triangle on a graph? Answer me this question. I have not needed to do that, not even a one time, since I got out of school. And I don't plan on it anytime soon. This Zelda music is ridiculous. Top 100 Zelda songs. Again, the name of the video. Oh yeah, Mask, you see that new Zelda trailer? It came out like yesterday? Or today? No, it came out literally today, I forgot. They announced it like yesterday. Came out of nowhere. Tears of the Kingdom trailer. I, for one, thought it was pretty neat. A lot of cool stuff going on there. I have seen bits and pieces. I would recommend watching it because it's the first bit of anything that we get from that game with a story. And I'm just like, oh my god, are they actually doing it? Is there going to be a story in this game? Has Aonuma successfully bested Miyamoto in hand-to-hand combat and gotten a story into a Zelda game? I can scarcely believe it, but I'm very excited at the possibility. I like the scene of Link riding a brick into battle. I did see Link coming in guns blazing on what appeared to be a stone rectangle with legs poking out of it. And I was very confused. This game truly is going to be Zelda nuts and bolts, and I don't know how I feel about that quite yet. Does Zelda and Link finally kiss over the light of a campfire? I don't know. It sounds like, unfortunately, you know what I will say, that I gleaned from the trailer. Zelda appears to get lost very early on in the game. She is not going to be a puzzle companion, from what I can see, because in the trailer she's falling into a hole, and then for the rest of the trailer she's saying stuff like, Link, you must find me, and I'm like, oh no, they made her the damsel in distress yet again. And they barely even let us have fun with the idea that she might be anything else. She could have been our adventuring companion. But no, I think she falls into a hole, and I think she gets kidnapped by Ganondorf again. So if they're gonna kiss, it's gonna have to be at the end of the game, is what I'm thinking. That's my theory, even if they do it at all. I don't know. I'm just saying it's seeming increasingly less likely, unfortunately. I'm playing Skyrim right now, and the music mixing with the Zelda music. It sounds quite nice, mixing with the Zelda music. I suppose that makes sense. Skyrim music, very ambient. Also very instrumental. And now we have a particularly soft Zelda song right now with a... I believe this is a fairies fountain theme. I'm not sure which game though. Oh god, now we're in something else. I've never played Hyrule Warriors, but this sounds like a very Hyrule Warriors type track. This bit sounds a little Wind Waker-esque, but I don't think this is a Wind Waker track. I would remember this. Pretty good tune. I spend way too long coloring here. Really should have just copy-pasted some of the values over. Alright, Faye, you're almost colored in again. Don't forget to save. You know what? I will. Also, welcome in. But not because you told me to, because I want to. But yeah, Link really did just come strolling in. With straight up one of these. And thought this was the ideal vehicle for battle. It was pretty ridiculous. We're just doing a bit of character design here. So saving is also we're discussing the new Zelda trailer that came out. Today? I forget. I'm pretty sure it's today, because I did watch it today. My schedule has been so blurry though, that I have no idea what time it is or where I am. But that new trailer looked pretty cool. Some cool moments in there. It does look pretty nutty though. Zelda is increasingly becoming a Gmod game, and I don't know how I feel about that entirely. On the one hand, pretty cool. On the other hand, what is going on sometimes? No, I don't like this one. I've heard it too many times. Get away from me! I require no more Terry Town. I don't care that a wedding happens there, I don't want it. What if this is the part that's darker instead? I kinda like that better, honestly. Now what color should this be? Should we just tie it back into the black? I suppose we can give it a shot, can't we? Ain't no harm in trying, unless... the design is so repulsive that it causes instant cardiac arrest. Cardiac arrest, I guess, does affect the heart. In a way. And I guess we could make the threads the same color as, or not the same color, but the same value as this. Oh no, my dog is barking. Stop! I'll throw you. I could throw him, but I would never. Unless... Oh my good lord, they can't go 2 minutes without just doing this. That's it! I'm muting my microphone and going to see what the heck is going on. One moment. I'm back. Whoops. Oh my god, they're still barking down there. Luckily, I don't think it's picking up on the mic now, so we're good. Why is my eraser so small? They're still barking. I'm gonna close every window in the house. Swear to God. Close all the blinds. It's gonna look like a prison in here. Oh, I've noticed my timer has stopped working in my stream manager. Let me try and get that open again. There it goes. I fixed it. Perfect. Now what if we do something like this? Oh, I didn't even realize that was color. There was a thing going on. This kind of looks too modern for me. This doesn't look too bad though. Yeah, I think this is a cool training outfit. I think so, anyway. What do you guys think? Unanimously agreed? Awesome. Moving on. I do wonder, though, what it would look like if we just got rid of the tube top thing and we went with more of the, what's that mood board thing I got? Sort of this one. It's a more open, I guess open-chested design, to put it in a way that is not waifu culture, so to speak. So let's try that one on for size. Looks awesome, I like it, thank you. Let's just try this one on for size. You know what, I can do this on a separate layer, I don't know what I'm doing. Give me one little thing. So I'm not ruining everything. What the heck? Is there beatboxing in my Zelda soundtracks? This is just a guy making train noises. And then if we go, where did I put the line art for this? That doesn't look too bad neither, but it is very apparent what the priorities would be if I made it look like this. This is definitely the Twitter edit of the outfit. But I don't hate it. I actually do still like it. In fact, let me, while I'm here, let me just make that a separate edit and save it to a new thing as an alternate, because you gotta have alternates. File, new, blah 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 blah. Oh, I made it huge again. Yeah, you know what, you can be here. Whoops, I forgot it does that. I hate it when it does that. Delete this, control. And I can save this under Fey Ideation 4. I think it's 4 by now. Yeah, it's 4 by now. Whoops, that was the slash key. Alright, now let's go back to the one that we are actually probably going to use in most situations. Excuse me, is it loud or is it just... It's a wee bit loud, I think. Give me 1 second, I'll go to YouTube and I'll tell it to calm the freak down, dude. Yeah, the more I look at this, the more I think it's an improvement over the original concept we had here. Plenty of room for alterations as well, like I just demonstrated, even if the only demonstration I did was removing clothing. There's nothing wrong with that. You can't shame me for it. You would be wrong too. I know you've got questionable search histories. You can't shame me for making my OC scantily clad on occasion. And this is design 4, and now for design 5. Probably looking up all sorts of weird stuff. I see that smile in chat. You look up weird stuff over there. He's not even denying it. I'm gonna draw these legs for the 5th time because I just refuse to copy paste it for some reason. Whoops. It's gonna be so weird to have Ganon be in the game again and not be a pig man. He wasn't even a man, just more than a pig. He was just a big old pig. Do we actually get like an interesting motivation for Ganon again? Because like he was a man in the trailer. Wholly and truly. Or is he just gonna kind of be like, you know, Ganon, but again? That's what I'm wondering. Okay, almost done with the base for this next one. One thing that still throws me off about legs is just how different the length or width is between the calf and the ankle area. It's so easy to have cankles if you don't just, or to draw cankles on accident. If you don't fully exaggerate just how much of a difference there is. Alright, we have base number 5 down. Now I don't even know quite what I want to do with this outfit. Let's take a look. So we have, this one is kind of just going to stay at the beginning of the story because that's just how it be. This is a placeholder outfit. She is washed up ashore to spoil some things in a very minor way. You don't know why, or where, or how, but that does happen, and these are like holdover clothes she is given by another character, so I'm not too worried about that design because it's meant to look rough and haphazard and, you know, thrown together. This one, I'm not even entirely sure where in the story this would show up. Sort of dress-like outfit, but I could work with that. I do like the idea of the tights with the sandals over it. The sort of like woven sandals, that, you know, as it alludes to her monastery-esque upbringing. And the nun-type influences there. We have already sorted out the training gear, so I don't need these anymore. Because I think we've settled on something better than either of these in our new thing here. I will still need to work out color, though. And patterning. I do like how much we've done, though, so far. We've got a better version of this and a better version of these two. It was the comic Portal Fantasy. Let me check. I literally don't know. Portal Fantasy Webtoon. No, it was not this one. This does seem pretty interesting, what's going on here. Without warning, Porbles, the ancient magical beings that inhabit the wilderness, started to turn on humans. Reddit. I should be able to see the person's account in my DMs. Oh, I'm in an incognito tab. For no reason. Don't ask. I gotta go to a regular window. So I'm already logged in. Go to my messages. How do I go to this person's account? Okay, hold on, I did it. I don't know how to use it. Okay. Everyone be talking about SketchUp and all these 3D background softwares. Ooh, gross. Alright, I think I might have found it. Let me see if it's even up. on the site itself. They do not appear to have a chapter up, so it must be a work in progress, so I can't even recommend anything to go look at because it's not out. They must have really been doing work in progress stuff. Oh yeah, I would have thought they had a chapter out or something like that. Alright, back to whatever I'm doing. Let's bring up my mood board. Boop. Right. I do remember what I wanted to do now. I wanted to get a handle on this headdress that she uses, because if you look over here, she has to conceal her ears and identity. Actually, apparently what I've written is don't seal. So I wanted something to do with that. Okay, I think we can do that. So I'm sorry, Faye, your hair, as much as it pains me, will have to be restrained a little bit. Oh god, it hurts to even do. Just erasing these locks. Now this seems quiet. Zelda, what are you doing? Would you just pick a volume and stick to it? Now this is called Zelda's Theme Romance. I didn't even know it was called that in Skyward Sword. Excuse me. It's called Zelda's Theme Romance, and they don't even kiss. I peeked the mic on purpose, I'm sorry. I felt it was needed for emphasis. How's my limiter, by the way? Was that terrible? Why, Nintendo, stop teasing us like this? I know, like, what the hell, what's the deal? I don't understand. They even did the whole scene. I'm gonna bring it up on freaking YouTube. There's a video called All Link X Zelda Link cutscenes. I only need one, but this is it's funny that there's just a whole compilation of these moments. Let me see if I can go to my browser. Of course it doesn't work. I have to fix it myself. Alright. Is this the one? Yeah, shut up. Where is it? 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 I know the one. Man, it's really in here, isn't it? Shut up, Zelda. I'm looking for Zelda. Here's your sailcloth, Link. No, you idiot. Why you gotta do that to literally everything? It smells nice, too. It's so creepily slow when it enters the screen. You know, the goddess gave it to her chosen hero. I've been working hard to make it. Nintendo! Would you just man up and do it already? Why is it so slow? I don't know. Finish up this ritual. You do know what happens at the end, right? Please, for the love of God, tell me what happens. And just, what are you thinking? Don't be silly, idiot. You thought you were gonna head to make out point, dummy? Whoa. And then she pushes him off cliff. This is canon. No one can change my mind. It is canon because nothing happens. Unfortunately. Yeah, no, just jump off a cliff, dummy. You thought you were gonna kiss the lady? No. Goodbye. Dead. And nothing. The game ends. Ignore the rest of this video. That's it. That's what happens. For sure. Zelda kills Link, he fails the jump, dies. Ganon wins. And that's it. It's a shame, but you know, that's what happens, happens. Excuse me, can I have my avatar back, please? Thank you. Alright, so I think I had some various... I'm gonna go back to my Pinterest board for but a moment. Give me but a second of your time. I say, having streamed for an hour and a half. Yo, go off? Someone is definitely rapped over this. Over the Cadence of Hyrule soundtrack, like 100%. Oh. Yeah, yeah. I'm just looking for some headdress inspiration. We could do this sort of like headpiece scarf type deal. Something tells me this is going to be a multi-faceted ituration here. In fact, since I know that for a fact, factually speaking, let's compile Mood Board Part 2. Don't I have... Yeah, let's open up 4. Ideation 4 while we're here. And then I have this and this. I can put them here. Oh, pardon me. Now we can copy this image. Actually, can I? This is much better. Okay, bigger image. Then we go here, and then we cover. Bleh. Mood Board Part 2. Mood Board Boogaloo. Oh, I didn't copy the image. I'm such a fool. Yoink. Compiling, right? This is what I did for most of the stream when I was doing her first few outfit designs, so don't worry, this is completely within the ordinary for me. Just wasting so much time for everyone. Now this is a cool image I found. It talks about, there's an article attached to it that talks about layering for your outfits. It's for live action roleplay, but I do think the idea of these layers is pretty interesting. I must go, not to class, but for something important. Alright, Mask. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good one, mate. I'll be here doing the exact same thing I always do. Procrastinate. Waste time. This always sounded like a Mario song to me. I don't know about you. Future listener. That's right, I'm talking to you. You know who you are. could have sworn I had these headpieces higher up in the old priority queue. I'm scrolling for a bit to get back down to them. I'll try to cut myself off at the 2-hour mark for faffing about here. We'll see what happens. I don't know if I'll be faithful to my own limitations. Oh, I found some of them. Okay, cool. Took me a bit, but I did find what I was looking for. Man, I gotta merge all these. Let's save that once more with feeling. I already did save that one. Of course I did. I have excellent taste. We got this one. I'm a man of wealth and taste. Both of those are incorrect, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it out loud to myself, it's just functionally wrong. Oh god. Okay, we're good. I get nervous because Pinterest always loads where you were in your scroll, which I do appreciate. It's probably one of my favorite features that it has, but it takes it a second, and sometimes it starts me at the beginning of the scroll that I was just doing. And I'm like, oh, do I have to scroll all over again? But no, you don't. You just gotta give it a sec. Give it like 1 second. I get so scared every time it teleports me to the top of the page. I think those are all the references I collected. Oh, here's a cool one. Oh, well, I might just be getting to more of them at this very second, the moment I brought it up. Alright, now I'm at the bottom of my thing. We're Weird. Alright, let's get to work on the new design. Design for Alt 1. Is that 2 spaces there? No. Also, while I'm here, just gonna move this on over while I can. Boing, 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 boing. Cannot listen to this song without thinking about Game Grumps. They've ruined it for me. I really gotta start drawing the clothing on the clothing layer. think I'll call it here. Thank goodness she's closed now, or else I would have to report you. Swan, you caught me at the worst time. I just planned on ending stream, like the moment you entered into the channel. I see how it is. It's no, you don't know. You do this on purpose. You've literally been here for like the majority of the past 2 streams I did. Don't you at me right now. I thought we was friends. You'll have plenty of time to complain about it when I show up for like the first hour of your stream. Today. I'll go for, you know what, for you, I'll go on for like a few minutes more. I'm gonna complain as soon as you show up. I see how it is. I thought we was friends, etc., etc. And your Audacity. I don't even use Audacity, I find it confusing. You don't have to, you gotta get your sleep. I can sleep when I'm dead. I also do want to get this design to a place where I'm comfortable ending. I don't like ending designs midway through. Or, you know, taking a break midway through. Because then I have to come back to it and it looks ugly, and then I just lose all resolve to improve it. So let me just work this through for like a second. Let me get something going on here. Also, sleeping is boring. We all know this. If the human body didn't have to sleep, you guarantee I would hardly ever be doing it. Like if it was like Devil May Cry type stuff, like how Dante eats food even though he doesn't have to. You know I would just be ignoring sleep all the time. I do not get any benefit from it. No, you get to have sick dreams where you fly and shoot lasers. Just to be honest with me, when's the last time you had a dream that was cool? Because I hardly ever dream anymore. If you're having cool superpower dreams often, you have to tell me. Because that is not my experience. I hardly ever dream anymore. Are we okay, Sotan? I don't mean like, in terms of the Martin Luther King, I have a dream, alright? I don't have, like, I have goals, I have ambitions, but I don't really, like, have dreams when I sleep. I thought it was fairly normal to just not have dreams often. Rarely do I get flying dreams, but when I do, it's awesome. I've never had one, and I think I would. I am terrified at the thought of it even happening. I have a crippling fear of heights, so that would be a nightmare for me easily, in a literal and metaphorical sense. Watch wackier videos right before he sleeps. Ray needs to dream in order to process what he saw. I don't think that would work. I don't think it would work. It's better this way anyway. Back when my imagination was running rampant as a wee lad, I would just have night terrors all the time. Like, we're talking every night. It's a miracle I didn't traumatize myself just from going to sleep. That's how bad it was. Like every day, just a new, just Lovecraftian creature. Just horrible. Well, I guess No Dreams is better than Night Terrors. Yeah, I don't know what it was. From like the ages of like 4 to like, I don't know, 11. Which is a long time, but it was, I just had horrible nightmares. It could be any number of things. And then it just went away. It was weird. I just don't have that anymore. Probably because my brain has a coping mechanism for its own survival. Maybe your lack of dreams was an adaptation. That's what I'm saying. Maybe it's just, I think I just, this is the only way that I can deal with that. Is to just not have any. And thank goodness, because they were disturbing. Either that or the real terror, puberty began. The hormones in my brain. They decided dreams were not necessary. Which is probably for the best, because during puberty is apparently when those dreams happen. You know the ones. I don't need to go into detail about what goes on during puberty. It's for the best that I don't. So I really dodged a lot of bullets, I think, just not having dreams anymore. Or, you know, nearly as on. Please elaborate? No, thank you. Listen, I'm over here drawing a fully clothed woman. I can't be risking it now. The safety of my channel is for once in a good spot. If you want to see what we did today, this is an alt of the training uniform that I settled on. Mask was in here. He said he liked this version, which is the, you know, this doesn't have the line art on it, but this is the one that I did today. I think it looks pretty neat. I gave her the old stirrup leggings. I have learned what they're called. I think they're neat. Nice, thank you. I do like it. I also am a fan. I like that I incorporated the drawstring in the waist piece. I didn't like it so much on the leggings, so I just kind of moved it here. So it's kind of nice. I own those kind of leggings. They're fun. You know what? I don't wear leggings, but if I did, I feel like these would be the kind. And, well, they can be... They're believable within the realm of medieval fantasy because they were made for horseback riding and then just sort of took on as more general sportswear for stuff like, I don't even know, I have an article that I pulled up for ballet dancing was another use for them pretty quickly after they were made, so you know, I think it's a good balance between the medieval fantasy setting and the sort of modernization that I was going for. So we settled into a nice place. I think it's nice. I didn't know that. I know. I'm learning all sorts of stuff through research. And then what I was doing right then was I have this little story element where she has to conceal her identity or her ears, or else she'll be found out for what she is, and that's a bad thing for her, because the people who care about what she is are pretty messed up in the head, just on a fundamental ideological level. So, I was trying to work this out here. They racist. They is a little bit racist. They do a little racism as a treat. Do I have Yeah, let's get rid of this here. Yo, go off, Zelda, let's go. Oh, Swan, did you see the new Zelda trailer? I've been asking anyone who stops in. I think it's pretty cool. I haven't, it's pretty neat. I will say, if you're looking for, I think what my theory is, it looks like they have a story in there. I think Aonuma defeated Miyamoto in hand-to-hand combat, and he managed to get a story into a Nintendo game, despite Miyamoto's best efforts. When is it releasing again? I think it's May 12th, if I'm not mistaken. A story unheard of. I don't know why Miyamoto is such a weirdo about video game stories. This looks kind of weird. That's soon, I know. It's crazy. I like the transparent sort of face piece here. So let's just, instead of whatever I was just doing, let's get a soft eraser. A little transparency there. I still gotta work out the sleeveys. This could be cool. They got sort of like the tighter sleeve and then the looser sleeve over. Would fit with this sort of thing I've got going on here. So we'll think about that. I gotta draw on the clothing layer. What is wrong? Please, man, remember with your brain. But yeah, this is just variation 1. I'm not entirely sure what else I'd want. I could do more of like a hooded cloak type thing too, as with this. This is actually very much in line with my design sensibilities. I don't know what this is from here, but I do just like it. I tried this more, I could try a more cowl-y approach as opposed to like the more turban-esque, I don't even know what you would call this. I guess it is just the closest approximation to a turban that I got. The problem is it needs to be big enough to, it can't just be like this little like bandana type deal, because she has, I don't know if you've noticed, some honking ears that I gotta conceal. So I even gave her like this little like headband so that they would be like bound to her head, so I could give myself some plausible deniability for the amount of compression going on there and how close the ears can be to the head. So, you know, dare you call them honking? Sorry, I forgot that's a slur in your nation, amongst your people. Please forgive me. I swear I don't use it in casual conversation. It just slipped out. You can expect my YouTube apology video. I'll forgive you for now. But I've got my eye on you. So what you're saying is you've got a bird's eye view of the situation? Sorry. Ooh, sorry I did it again. I'm so... Wow. And the best part of it is, you can't even retaliate, because what the heck is a Zotan? Nobody knows. There ain't no wordplay you can make on the word Zotan. Absolutely not. It's a foreign concept. I made it up. Literally keyboard smashed my name into a thing, and now it's here. When you hear a series of honks approach your doorstep, you'll know it's me. Oh no, it's gonna be like the video of Mario breaking into your house. I'm gonna play that while I'm here. Shut up, Zelda music. Mario breaks into your house, ASMR. I just saw the title. I don't think this is the one I remember. I know the one where he demands your liver, but the first one is called ASMR Mario Farts, but Mario breaks into your house. Okay, interesting. It's not the one I remember.
Hey, it's me, Mario. Let's eat a mushroom.
That is not the one. It's just a dude doing a very bad Mario. That is like a Chris Pratt-esque Mario impression.
Give me your liver.
These are all so bad. Where's the original one? That was like a 14-year-old kid doing a Mario voice. He's coming. Oh god, he's coming. Oh no, he's here. No, he's knocking fast.
Let's go.
And then he kills you, and then Mario kills you. Mario Senpai no. Alright, I'll do a to-do list. And then I'll end stream, I think. I think I have extended it enough to get the design into a good spot. Whoops, what the heck did I do? Cowl. Variants. Drapery. Variants. That's just all this. Yeah, I think... Oh yeah, I gotta do the sleeves here. Sleeve... design... Actually, it should be sleeve slash... undershirt. Then the most important step of all. Here we go. I think that's good for today. Wait, I gotta do one little thing. But yeah, Swan, I don't want to spoil the Zelda trailer for you, but it is looking less and less likely that Link and Zelda kiss. Disappointing, I know, but I know the game's not out yet, and I can't say that for sure, but I just get the feeling they're gonna do a Skyward Sword again, and they're just gonna not do the romance. Because they're cowards, and I hate them. Patooey! I spit at their HQ. Ain't that just the way? Heaven forbid any story or smoochies happen, I know! Freaking make me so mad. Mario's gotten more action than Link ever has, and isn't that just like the most depressing thing of all time? Mario's gotten smooches. Why can't Link get a smooch? What do you mean stop? I'm just telling it like it is, not Mario flexing on Link. That's right. The schlubby 3'8" short king over here. Getting more action than this goddess's chosen one. You know, I think today I've actually just grown. I've realized that my respect for Mario just grew like 40,000%. Because he's doing what some of us could never. Don't ever underestimate the short kings. They got their priorities in line. Mario's a provider. He saves the princess, but then he also has a stable income and a passion, a job that he loves to do. Link's over here just gallivanting around as a knight ITM. Like, what do you even? No wonder Zelda doesn't get with him. He's just kind of like the one night stand. He's a tradesman, a necessity in our society. He keeps things running. Link does nothing. He's a freeloader. He's a glutton. He just swings a sword. He's the literal sword guy. When's the last time you had a girl talk to a sword guy and be genuinely interested? I rarely see it happen. The only time I've seen that happen is with my friend. He's into swords and medieval stuff and like that. And the only reason that he has a girl that's interested in that sort of stuff is because his girlfriend is literally him as a female. So, I don't know how he did it, but he found another human being who was interested in swords enough to become his partner, because it is just him wearing a female wig. A female wig? I guess just a wig. I don't even know where I'm going anymore. I gotta stop streaming before I lose my mind. A female wig. The heck is a female wig, dude? I'm wigging out, that's what's happening. Christian wig. That's a lady. She was in movies that I don't remember. Hair can be male or female, apparently. Apparently, you know, I'm adopting the French culture where just arbitrary things are defined by gender for no reason. I think the French word for war is feminine. War in French. La guerre, which I find funny because I'm pretty sure most wars were started by dudes. So, you know, just offsetting a little bit of the blame linguistically, I guess. Not gonna fool me, France. We all know. Alright, I think that's good enough for me. I think I'm gonna stop streaming before I lose my mind any more than I already have. Again, thank you for stopping here. I will be streaming again tomorrow. I don't even have to work tomorrow, so I can do whatever I want. I have so much freedom. But then I do have to work on Saturday. Ew. Go sleep, Goblin, you freaking... How dare you say something that I'm definitely gonna do anyway. Freedom! But yeah, hopefully I can catch the beginning of your stream before I go into work. But yeah, I'll catch you later. And bye-bye. If not, then no worries. We'll see. But yeah, later.